Good day everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's video is just going to be a short video, but something that's pretty important I want to address. I have had this bumper on my Jeep TJ for a very long time. I'm going to point out the quality control issues of a cheap eBay. I think you can probably buy these off Amazon as well. They're cheap, I would believe, overseas constructed bumpers. And they look good when you first get them. I mean, in the harsh Canadian climate, it's starting to rust. Its coating has held up better than most products, but it looks fine from this side right here. It looks okay. But what I want to show you is what's on the other side, which may shock a lot of people because this is a pretty common bumper, this style, and I've seen quite a few out there. The first thing I'm going to show you is the D-rings and how those are fastened. And luckily, I've never had to use them. Otherwise, things could have got ugly. Alright, so we're coming in, and you can see how that D-ring mount is just welded in there. But you have to look around. That's not welded solid. There's just some sort of gob on there. Same with the sides here. Doesn't even look like it's welded there except for a tack. So there is really nothing holding this section in because it looks like it's welded in as a square. There's just a couple gobs there, one there, and a D-ring. So if you would hammer on that really good, there's a very real possibility that you're gonna yank this whole section out. So the winch mounting plate has worked out all right. These bolt holes right here obviously correspond with the two top bolts on the TJ frame. And I have winched off the front numerous times and I haven't had any issues with the plate at all. Probably mainly because since it's bolted to the top of the frame itself, I'm actually not really pulling on anything else. All the other parts are just kind of pieced together, like this piece right here underneath the powder coating. Looks like it's got a bead that's ran down. But structurally, it's very questionable. Like, I don't even know what the heck that is. Once again, you got a weld that starts here, which kind of misses its mark because the line goes this way, but the weld starts down. You got some bubble gum right down there. Of course, coming to the other D-ring. This is just some sort of support gusset, which can be easily fabricated up, make it a little stronger. But if you guys ever bought one of these bumpers, instead of just putting it on, has anybody ever stopped to look at the real construction of it? I'm gonna cut these tubes off. I'm gonna remodify and rebuild this bumper, but I would not be surprised if these tubes are probably, I'm gonna guess, like a 18 gauge. But ideally they'd be badass if they were like 1/4 inch or something. But guaranteed they're not. So if you guys watched the last video, I finally built a stand and assembled this JD Squared Model 30 tube bender, hydraulic tube bender I got. We're gonna be fabricating all sorts of stuff. And one of the first projects I'm gonna be building is this bumper. So let's cut these tubes off and see what's underneath. I can tell you right now, I sliced through this like butter. There ain't nothing really holding her on. So with the rust and powder coating and everything else, yeah, definitely right around the 16 gauge mark. But we're gonna modify this. We're gonna make it better. For a cheap bumper, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due, and I'm gonna show you something that very few people do. Personally and professionally, is that where this tube was mounted to the bumper, they put drain holes in every piece. And that's very important, especially in a climate where I live, where it freezes. And in case you don't know, what'll happen is, if you didn't have these drain holes in it, the water would just pool up at the bottom, and then in the wintertime when it freezes, well, the ice will expand and then split this pipe and make it look all ugly. It's very important to have little drain holes everywhere, especially where you live in a climate just like mine. Now, to go on the tube sake of things, that is very thin. Absolutely, that would be cosmetic only. If you put any type of pressure on that winching or pulling, you would just rip that right off. Now begs the question, do I keep the bumper and rebuild it the way it is, strengthen it up, all those weak points I pointed out, or do I start cutting the bumper up, redesigning it to make something look a little bit more functional, a little bit different from what I had? I got some thinking to do. In the next video, we're gonna start cutting up this bumper, but I just want to keep this one short because I want to show you, before you spend the money on one of these bumpers, you really gotta think what you're getting into. If you can find one used and you want to use one as a base to build off of, that's perfect. Otherwise, a lot of it is just purely cosmetic like you've seen. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. I'll see you guys in the next one. We're getting some chin scratches. Oh, you are. Yeah, you just love those, don't you? Oh, yeah, that feels so good, eh, Tomcats? Oh, my.